If God were to ask you, who are you? If anybody were able to ask you who you are without listing or naming any titles, how would you respond? With me having to relearn, reprocess, rethink what sex was, that was like taking a part of my identity away.
Just because you may need to seek help or you may be in transition and things may not be right, it doesn't necessarily mean that your marriage is bad.
Marriage is a roller coaster ride that never ends.
From the twists of having children, to the turns of overly involved parents, or the highs of buying a new home, to the lows of unexpected lifestyle changes.
Marriage is dope, but let's be honest, fam. Marriage really be tiring.
Welcome to the Left Hand Gang podcast, hosted by Jazz and Spoon.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It is the Left Hand Gang, and yeah, it is your boy. You got just me today. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, fellas. You just got your boy. But hey, it's all good. We trying this new thing out. With us, doing these solo episodes, and so that's what we're doing. And so last week, y'all got to hear from Jazz, and she got to talking about balance, home, life, and all of that stuff. And so I thought it was really, really good. So if you missed that, please be sure to make sure you go back and listen to that. And I also want to thank everybody who's been, excuse me, y'all, allergies been on 1,000. But just want to thank everybody who's been tapped in with us, man, who's been supporting, who's been getting their hoodies, and they still are on sale. So make sure you go and get yours. Free shipping. Use the promo code FREEMAIL for your free shipping. We also want to thank people who've been sending comments and just sending love in all kinds of ways. And we feel y'all's prayers. So just wanted to say thank you. We appreciate y'all. And we just gonna keep this thing going. So with me today, I really want to get into really kind of a spin-off of balance, but also really focusing on transitions. I know last season 1, we talked about transitions as it relates to like marriage and and how having kids and you getting married, you have these different transitions, and God tends to move us and move you into different places and spaces. And one of those spaces that I want to talk about today is us personally. We all are personally in transition. And it's so crazy that here recently, just about everybody that I've spoken to, just in conversation, whenever I'm catching up with people, is something is different in their lives. And what is funny about it is sometimes we know that something's different, but unfortunately, we can't even pinpoint what it is. We can't find the thing or the situation. It's kind of sort of this slow and steady type of change or transition that we didn't even realize was happening in our lives. Our appetites begin to change. Our interest has somehow changed. What we devote our time and attention to is even changing. Aspirations have changed. How we see ourselves, how we see other people, those things are changing. And just for me personally, my world, y'all, it has just been completely rocked. And I didn't see a lot of the things that I'm walking through coming. And what a common, rather, perspective for many of us is that, like, all right, the devil is busy. Why is the enemy messing with my money? Why the enemy messing with my family? Why the enemy messing with me? Have you ever stopped to just think for a brief moment? To just pause, to just relax, and to really think about what you're walking through, what you're dealing with, what's coming at you. Is it really the enemy? Or just maybe God is allowing you to transition into something else? Excuse me. But just maybe God is allowing us to transition into something new, into something different. And the things that used to give us joy are now boring. Things that used to make us happy, we're no longer content with those things. We're no longer comfortable with the thing that we accomplished, even though we strived to obtain it. It's funny how life works, how as we begin to become successful, do all of the things that we set our hearts and minds and prayers to do. And when we get them, years, weeks, months later, they're not as filling as they used to be. And one of those things are titles. Y'all, God has been dealing with your boy with titles. I mean, every aspect of titles that you could even think of, they all revolve around what we do, but the titles don't necessarily address who we are as people, as individuals. And here in my life, here as of recently, I feel like God has just been stripping me of not just the personal titles that I have that I hold for myself, but also the titles and labels that maybe I've put on people. Actually, not maybe, that I have put on people. Because there were times in my life that I saw people as only the thing that they did for me. But those people are people with feelings and emotions and who pray to the same Father God that I pray to. So why is it that for me, I get to get rid of all the titles and labels that I have for myself, but I dare not get rid of them for other people, especially when I've had a helping hand in creating a title, creating a narrative for people. So, y'all, man, these titles, we got to get rid of. And that's a part of the transition that I'm in is re-identifying who I am, taking away the titles. I'm going to ask y'all this question. If God were to ask you, who are you? If anybody were able to ask you who you are without listing or naming any titles, how would you respond? And I've been sitting with that for a while. Many of us were mothers, fathers, brothers, cousins, we're CEOs, we're entrepreneurs, we're pastors, we're children, we're doctors. Everything, all of those things only address what we do, but none of them really get to the core, to the being, to the bottom of who we actually are. There's so much more to my wife than her just being my wife. There's more to her than just being a mother. There's more to you than the things that you do, that you wake up, get in your car, you drive to work, do your thing. Some of y'all are working virtually, and then you clock out. But yet, there's so much more to us than our title at our job. Yes, some of us went to school. Some of us, yes, we got the degrees and We got the experiences, we got the certificates, but that thing only speaks on the behalf of part of who I am and not even the majority of it. It's just so unfortunate because we have made those titles, those things, more of our lives, more of who we are than who we actually are. And so, here in my life personally, like I said, I've been stripped. I mean, stripped. Yes, I do these things, but they are not who I am. And so, my mind has gone from, well, I don't even know who I am anymore because what I thought actually wasn't who or what I was as a man, as a father. So who am I now? Who am I? Not what, but who. And so I want to invite you guys today to walk on that journey, walk in this journey alongside me in discovering who you are without the titles. Are you a servant? You have a serving heart? Are you a person of character, of integrity? And I also want to encourage you that as you discover who you are and find out who you are, do it without trying to explain it. We don't owe people an explanation. We don't need to give this long, detailed narrative of who we are. You don't have to explain anything. But I can guarantee you that in discovering and finding out who you are, you'll have so much more peace in this world, peace in your life, peace as you move forward in whatever endeavor you're in. Because the fact of the matter is, you have to ask yourself this question: are people attracted to you because of the title that you hold? Do people follow you and respect you because of the title you hold? Is your happiness solely dependent upon the title that you hold? Because at any given point, that title can be stripped away. Then what are you left with? You're left to find out that people really don't respect you. They just respected the title that you had. People don't really care about you. They just were fearful because of the title that you had. You thought you were happy. But once that thing, that title, that label was stripped of you, you soon found out that you weren't as happy, as fulfilled as you thought you would be. So, this is the place that I'm in right now as a father, as a husband, as a man of God, as a friend, as a podcaster, DJ, whatever, trying to strive to be my best, irregardless of the title. I'm still working hard, working towards accomplishing certain things that that titles may um that titles that I may accomplish or may obtain, but make no mistake about it. I am who I am at my core, with or without it. At least I'm striving to be. Just like we all should. Because my prayer, especially for myself, is to simply be able to not just be confident in who I am, but also being confident in who God says that I am, regardless of my environment. I can be at peace at home, in my job, in the middle of chaos in this world, not because I have the title and I can control things, but because on the inside of me, I won't let things on the outside enter into my spirit to corrupt me, to influence me. Because once we know who we are, we're solid. We're so much wiser. We have so much more patience and so much more grace for others. Because when we know who we are, we would dare not project our thoughts, feelings, and emotions on others, but simply just show grace. Because whenever you take a step back and you really look at the world and all the chaos and everything that's going on, it's all because people don't know who they are. And so they create this image so that a certain group of people will agree with them, so that a certain group of people will fund their projects, so a certain group of people they can appeal to. It's kind of like signing a petition for here's what I look like, don't you agree? But we see so many people, they're really genuine and trying to figure out who they are. But many of us are misled in our quest for seeking our identity because we're utilizing things that will be here today and gone tomorrow as the measuring stick for I've met the criteria, I have hit the mark, I've accomplished the goal. And something that I've been learning and realizing with God here in my relationship with Him is the deeper I go in Him, the less of me I actually know. Wow. The deeper I go into Him, the less of me I take because I'm human. I'm impure. I have hangups. I got issues. I think about things that I shouldn't be thinking about. And that's why I need the power of God, the Spirit of God to lead and guide me. Because for far too long in my life, I've been doing His job in leading and guiding myself, from career decisions to tests that need to be taken to how I have my budget set up at home. I want as much of me out of it as possible so that God can lead as much as possible. But oh man, my humanity, scarcity mindset, wanting to be in control because I know how I would do it. And since I can't see God, I don't know how He would do it, but I know that He would. So I do have faith. And so I start negotiating within myself on what I want to allow God, what I want to allow God to be a part of, when ultimately God wants all of it. So during this time, this season that I'm in personally, and again, I know that in some way, shape, or form, all of us, all of us are going through some kind of transition in life. And the bulk of that transition is being able to identify who we are, not what. We already know what we are. We already know what we can do. We have ideas and aspirations on the things that we could do, the things that we can accomplish. But I really want you guys to join alongside me in being able to sit with that question. if you were to remove all of the titles that you have, who are you? Who are you? Man, who are you? I don't know, God, who I am, but I'm willing to walk alongside you to figure it out. Because I would rather you tell me than somebody else. Man. Whew. So if you feel me, you walking with me, if you in that thing, shoot us a message, shoot us a DM, and we can walk this thing out together, this journey, discovering who we are. Not what, we already know, but in discovering who we are. So with that being said, man, I really do hope that this is a blessing, that this even appealed to you. I do hope and pray that this touched you, this question touched you just as much as it's touched me. And even though I haven't figured out the answer, I still haven't lost myself. I still haven't given up on figuring out what the answer to that question is. But I'm willing to go along the journey. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. This journey sucks. It does. Because a lot of things I thought I already had figured out, I thought I already knew. Newsflash. I don't. I didn't. And I still don't. But I have confidence in God in knowing that He'll reveal it to me over time, just like He will to you. Just like He will to you. So take this as a challenge, a growth challenge, in seeking and asking God who you are. All right, y'all, that's my time. I love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me for a little bit. Know this was a little different, maybe got a little deep, and it may even sounded like Spoon was talking to Spoon, because he was. Because I definitely was. But this is what we're here. This is what we're here for. This is what we all about. So, love y'all. Y'all take it easy. Peace. Thank y'all so much for tapping in with the Left Hand Gang podcast.
Be sure to follow, like, subscribe, and rate us.
And lastly, please don't forget to check out our website. That's lefthandgang.co for merch and ways to stay connected.
Catch you next episode.
Gang.